Welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm the Monk, and today I'm going to be reviewing Mask of Mist, which was sent to us by Sometimes You. So thank you very much for that. And so let's get into it. So in this action puzzle game, you are a mercenary assigned to a missing persons case. An archmage went missing while doing research in the infected territory. So basically, you play as uh, this character. Now, I didn't even know that he was a mercenary. I've played this game a little bit. I actually had to read up on the game to find that information out about the character I've been playing. So this game, Mask of Mist, it's been developed and was published by Nine Eye Game Studio. It's quite a short game. The entire game can be played in about 3 hours. So what I know about this game is that there's only one boss in it. It's a very short game, so if you're looking for something that is going to take days and weeks and months to complete, this is definitely not your game. But if you like RPGs, you don't have much time but you do enjoy playing them, this may be the game for you. It's only 3 hours long, which means you can speedrun it inside one session if you really wanted to. And the thing about this game is it knows it's short, so it wants to get to the point as fast as possible. You know, there is a very small game. I believe it's made by a very small studio. There's not too much to it. If you look at the options, they are extremely limited. So any PC players probably aren't going to like that. But you know, it is short, sweet, and to the point. If there's one compliment about this game I can give, is that it is extremely bright with vibrant colours everywhere. This place looks very inviting. You want to explore it. The problem is there is nothing to explore. It's exactly what you see and no more. I spent most of my time in this game doing puzzle solving or fetch quests. It is very much a case of, you know, you have the alphabet and you're going through the alphabet to eventually you get to the end. So the whole idea of the game is that there are 6 mini dungeons. For every mini dungeon, it activates a crystal and eventually it opens up a portal. Hopefully you find this archmage. Like I said, there is one boss in this game, but unfortunately this game finishes before it really gets started. I could kind of see this being like a first world or a first level of this game, and there being more to it. Unfortunately, I went through the entirety of the game not actually finding out a single thing about the character I was playing. There are no pictures of him, you don't see anything, or her. And like I said, I didn't even realise that I was a mercenary until I read the write-up on this game. I actually thought I was another mage of some kind. You can run around the game and you can collect different potions which give you different abilities to do certain things. Um, and most of the combat revolves around um, your sword and your pistol, and it doesn't really get much more complicated than that. I never really found that I needed my pistol. Most of the enemies could be defeated just by running around in circles. The AI isn't that good, unfortunately, and the AI also aren't that diverse. There's only maybe 4 or 5 different creatures in the entirety of the game, and that's if you include the boss as well. There really isn't much to it. The puzzles can be quite problematic sometimes. Sometimes you can overstep something. But of course, once you complete one puzzle, that always leads you to the next thing. So you kind of always know what it is that you're actually aiming to do in the game, which is quite nice. However, I kind of think that this game may be a little bit too difficult for children of a young age. So it's definitely really, you know, a gamer who just wants to pick up a game very casually and just play a classic RPG, and that's pretty much what this is. It is a classic RPG. Unfortunately, there's not much, there's no dialogue throughout the game. Everything is text-based, but there again, there isn't really many NPCs in this game anyway. Most of the things that you find or pointers that you find are from old scrolls. They're like notes and clues. You basically play the role of a detective, trying to figure out how to get to this, you know, to unlock that next door and unlock this next point. At one point, the game had me searching for about half an hour for a key. Um, it boggled the mind. I couldn't find it. But at the end of the day, it was a good game. You know, everything worked. Like I said, it's a very beautiful game. A lot of effort's gone into the scenery and the background, and it's a very nice looking game. Unfortunately, the few dungeons that exist within the game are very much the same. There's only two different types of dungeon, um, but really they're all the same. They kind of blend into each other. There's no real difference. There's a few puzzles, a few mobs, and that's about it. I did quite like a few of the little things. There's a few little touches, you know, like catching a rabbit, for instance. There's always a reason for this. It always leads you on to the next part, you know, the next puzzle piece. And so, you know, it does keep the game moving forward, which is nice. It's definitely not stale, this game. The problem for me is the length of the game. You know, like I already said, but I understand that that it's probably quite a small team, and because of that, it's really not a bad game. I can't say this is a bad game. For the price as well, it's only, I think, 15.99. That's US dollars, so it's about £10. That's a pretty cheap game for 3 hours. Maybe a little bit overpriced. I'm sure it will come down in price though in a sale. But visually, it looks really, really good. It's priced right, and I didn't experience a single crash. There was no lagging. I didn't dashboard. The game works, which is a huge thing. Sometimes in these lower budget games, you can have games that they're just broken, or even expensive games that are just broken as well. I recently reviewed a game that was so good, but it unfortunately was broken. And that came from a big developer. This is a small game and it actually works, so that's also really, really great. Unfortunately, I can't really give this game a bigger score than 5 out of 10. Now, that isn't a bad score. This is definitely not a bad game. It's just not a great game. There's other games out there that maybe you like that do this a little bit better. But this game has potential, and I'd quite like to see it finished. It definitely does feel a little bit unfinished. It stops very abruptly as well. But that's my review on Mask of Mist. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I could actually do a complete playthrough of this game and put it on the channel if anyone's interested. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Maybe subscribe if you haven't. Currently, we're sitting at 90% of all viewers not subscribed to the channel. And of course, we are chasing that big 1,000 mark. So every subscriber really counts and is very much appreciated. If you played this game and you like it or you think different from me, let me know. I'm always up for listening to anyone that has any comments. Remember, these are just my thoughts, and everyone is welcome to their own too. Anyway, I've been a monk, we've been a Critically Clueless, and we'll see you again in the next video.